this is an overview of COVID-19. Well, COVID-19, that is coronavirus disease, is a newly identified severe acute respiratory infection caused by a novel coronavirus named severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, that is SARS-CoV2. This was first reported to the World Health Organization on 31st December 2019. This disease has spread rapidly among human populations on all continents around the world since it was first identified. Well, it was initially declared by WHO as a public health emergency of international concern on 30th January 2020 and subsequently declared as a pandemic on 11th March 2020. Although the virus is widely believed to have originated from animals, there is insufficient scientific evidence to identify the specific animal reservoir or even the original mode of transmission of the disease to humans. Actually, the spread of the disease in humans, however, is currently known to be spread from person to person, mainly through droplets arising from people sneezing, coughing, speaking, or exhaling with deposits on surfaces. So the virus may be transferred from contaminated surfaces to mucosal surfaces, that's the eyes, nose, mouth, via the hands. Aerosol transmission is also possible when people have prolonged exposure to high concentrations of droplets in relatively closed spaces. The incubation period for COVID-19, that is the time between exposure to the virus and the onset of symptoms, is currently estimated to be between 2 to 14 days. So persons affected by this virus may either exhibit no symptoms or experience an illness which may range from mild to severe. However, asymptomatic and symptomatic persons are equally capable of transmitting the infection. The experience from observation of patients presenting to health centers around the world suggests that over 80% of symptomatic individuals with COVID-19 develop mild or uncomplicated illness, and approximately 14% develop severe disease requiring hospitalization and oxygen support, while 5% may have very severe illness requiring admission to an intensive care unit with ventilators for care. The global evidence also suggests that whereas symptomatic individuals may initially have mild symptoms and physical signs, there may be clinical deterioration during the second week of illness. Risk factors for severe illness and higher case fatality include old age and presence of chronic underlying medical conditions such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, chronic respiratory disease, hypertension, and immunosuppression. Well, the clinical course of COVID-19 in pregnant patients from recent studies is similar to that for non-pregnant individuals of the same age, but the symptoms for children are often relatively mild. Complications of the disease include acute respiratory distress syndrome leading to acute respiratory failure, secondary bacterial and other microbial infection, septic shock, cardiac injury, cardiac arrhythmia, liver failure, acute kidney injury, metabolic acidosis, coagulation dysfunction, or even multi-organ failure. The suspected person should be held in quarantine for testing, and if confirmed, the patient should be transferred to designated treatment centers with effective isolation and disease control capacity. Well, confirmed cases can be treated with multiple patients in the same isolation room, but patients who are severely or critically ill should be admitted to an intensive care unit as early as possible. There are currently no well-researched and approved vaccines, medicines, or blood products like convalescent plasma specifically for the prevention and treatment of patients with COVID-19. At present, clinical management includes infection prevention and control measures and supportive care. A number of medicines which were tried in previous outbreaks of coronavirus infections, as well as in the current COVID-19 outbreak, together with some investigational drugs, are presently being studied at different research and treatment centers all over the world for use as preventive or treatment options. In the absence of proven medicines for prevention and treatment of persons with COVID-19, giving suspected cases in quarantine while awaiting test results, isolation of confirmed cases, and tracing of contacts of confirmed cases for early detection of the disease are therefore paramount in preventing the spread of the disease. Symptomatic treatment for COVID-19 patients should be done in line with standard treatment, and all treatments opted for must be based on the clinical judgment of a multidisciplinary COVID-19 case management team. Any treatment opted for must be fully documented and submitted to appropriate authorities. Furthermore, all adverse drug reactions must be reported to the Food and Drugs Authority and other concerned and appropriate institutions.